The Congress leader Shashi Tharoor MP's glorification of Kerala's startup ecosystem and the present industrial climate in the state under the left government have come in for criticisms from different sections across Kerala society. The harshest critics of his arguments are surprisingly his own partymen. Shashi Tharoor recently wrote an article in the Indian Express. I think the title was From Lumbering Elephant to a Lithe Tiger, praising Kerala's startup ecosystem, industrial climate, etc., where he pointed out that Kerala's startup ecosystem recorded what he terms a staggering growth of 254%. That was from the period July 2021 to December 31st, 2023. And Shashi Tharoor's argument have been exposed and debunked by different people who included Kerala opposition leader Mr. V.D. Sadisan too, even different tax consultants who practice across the state. They said actually the rise in the registrations or in the number of SMEs or startups in Kerala was a trend that happened in the above said period, that was from 2021 to 2023 across India. That resulted from not from from the coming up of new industries, but because of a change in the existing law. Because certain type of industries became eligible to be registered as SMEs. To be more precise, traders became eligible to register as service providers under the SME category. So that was the reason, one of the main reasons for the rise in the number of industries, not because new industries came up. In the Kerala context, that was particularly relevant because Kerala has got a large number of shops and trading establishments, and the state has very few production centers or factories. Industries are less, shops are, trading sector is better. So that was one reason. The second reason was, when a PAN based registration came into place, some of the existing industries had to re register. Then, even when somebody develops a concept, they used to get temporary registration and licenses. Then, after the union government brought in a legislation during the period, they had to register along with the other industries. So, those were the factors that actually resulted in the rise of industries, and that was recorded across the country, not just in Kerala. That was the reason why Kerala recorded a staggering rise in the number of startups. Experts in the tax consultants and other political leaders pointed out that without going into the basics, without checking what really happened, Shashi Tharoor actually jumped the gun. That was not expected from a leader like Shashi Tharoor, who is known for his knowledge. So here he was absolutely wrong. One can understand if he supports the left government. That is within his freedom. He could support any political parties. Shashi Tharoor is not respected as the embodiment of honesty or probity in public life in Kerala. He is actually respected for his knowledge, his language skills in English, not for the other qualities. Often he has been criticized as for being dishonest or for other factors. There have been allegations that he was a depraved person. I am not going into all that, but people simply neglected those allegations raised by his opponents, and they stood by him because they thought that he was a knowledgeable person. among the half-nosed, he was the full-nosed. So he got that respect, and that was actually what exactly helped him to win for the fourth consecutive time from Thiruvananthapuram Lok Sabha seat. But unfortunately, his credentials have taken a hit by supporting or writing the left government or writing an article based on cooked up facts or fudged data. I don't know who supplied him with the data. Most probably, the left leaders or their PR agencies might have supplied him that. So let's take a more closer look into what was there in the article and why tax experts and other political leaders harshly criticize him. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. In his article that was published in the Indian Express, Mr. Shashi Tharoor praised the valuation of Kerala startup ecosystem. He said, at present, Kerala's startup ecosystem was worth around 1.7 billion US dollars. Actually, that's a pittance compared to the valuation of India's whole startup ecosystem. Indian startup ecosystem is now valued at, you know, around 385 billion US dollars. So you just compare. It's not even 1% of the valuation of India's ecosystem, startup ecosystem. So how could you praise, extol Kerala's startup ecosystem? They have not done nothing extraordinary. So there itself actually he was misled or he went wrong. Now when it comes to other factors also, he says he quotes a report, I don't know, from the global startup ecosystem report, which was published by a German private company and which was based on the facts or data supplied by a US data firm named CB Insights. Now, what is the authenticity of that? How could he prove the authenticity of those data? I doubt. Then, when it comes to other things also, for example, he says that, when he refers to the industrial climate in Kerala, he refers to an ease of doing business index. The leader of opposition at present, the other day he held a press conference and said that ranking system is no more in place because there were doubts about the ranking system and World Bank has stopped the ranking system. That is number one. And even when in Shashi Tharoor's article, he wrote that Kerala, which was ranked 28th among 29 Indian states, now occupies a high position. What is the position of Kerala? He has not indicated that. Now, when you write that Kerala occupies a very high position, you need to be specific. At least you should say Kerala occupies among the first 5 ranks. That was not there. Actually, this raises the doubt that Shashi Tharoor knew that the data supplied to him was not authentic. Now, there are so many such mistakes in his, or so many vague references in his article. So that makes it that's the way he loses credibility. Now, as I said earlier, why people oppose Shashi Tharoor's findings on the 257% growth of Kerala's startup ecosystem? That is because, as I said earlier, there was a change regarding registration, startup or SME registration laws. So that was why the growth was there. The staggering growth appeared. It was not actual. That was because of certain factors. As I said earlier, certain categories of businesses like trading became eligible to be registered under the SME category. So immediately, those trading houses were not new trading houses. They were in existence even earlier. But When they became eligible, they got registered. That was the reason. Then earlier, as I said, when somebody develops an idea, somebody drafts has an idea for starting a business, they immediately go and register. And all these registrations were made in a portal named Udyam portal. So when that Udyam portal registration became mandatory, many different classes of businesses which were not registered under the SME category got themselves registered in the Udyam portal. And that was how, during a short period, it seemed that the number of small or startups or SMEs in India shot up at one particular point. That Kerala also benefited out of that. Experts like Anuruddhan, who is a tax consultant, said while if you look at the statistics from the period 21 to December 21, June 21st, 2021, from to uh, December 31st, 2023, actually the number of startups in India increased by 300%, and in Kerala that increased only by 254%. So these were all actually half truths couched as truth and projected as part of propaganda. And either unfortunately Shashi Tharoor was forced to believe that, or he was led to believe that, or he deliberately projected the left government with ulterior motives. One has to believe like that. And the end result or the fallout of this argument is that even people who had respect for Shashi Tharoor nowadays have started thinking about his intellectual capabilities, doubting his intellectual honesty, and they won't be ready to accept the claim that Shashi Tharoor is actually fair in his judgment. So this is, I think, he could have avoided. If he wanted to support the left government for any reason which he thinks, he could do that, but that should be based on facts. Or he could have made some political statements, not gone for a write up on economy. It seems that though his language skills are excellent, his mathematical skills are below average, and his judgment is actually poor. So otherwise, I am sure that even a layman, not an expert like him, would have thought twice before writing an article. Because during last year's budget, the same issue came up for discussion. And the opposition in Kerala, the Congress, the party to which Mr. Shashi Tharoor belongs, had objected the claims of Kerala Industries Minister P. Raji. I don't know why Shashi Tharoor went again for that at this point of time. Anyway, let me see if he is going to come up with any arguments, and let me see if he has got any argument skills so that he can at least try to hoodwink and create a smoke screen and hide behind it. Meet you with updates in the coming days. Till then, goodbye.